Hey guys, so we are about to start the thing here for the new expansion. Hopefully it's going to be like a BlizzCon thing where there's multiple parts to it. You know, they come out with the general cinematic of like, oh yeah, we're going to go here and blah, 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 and get this really cool cinematic. And then kind of a breakdown of the features and what to expect. Kargath, such a wasted fucking boss. One of the warlords, Draenor, gets taken out like a bitch. That's the first boss in one of the raids. Fucking pathetic. Pathetic. No, so some of the things I hope is, like I've said before, leveling. We don't have to level every single expansion. Quite frankly, people nowadays are tired of leveling. And if Blizzard wants to avoid having to keep doing squishes of numbers, you know, squishing the levels and all that, then it'd be a good idea to not level 10, 15 levels each expansion. So hopefully this expansion, we don't level anything. Let's just have content. There are plenty of games that don't have a leveling system every expansion or whatever, and they're just fine. So to have content where you can actually enjoy it and not have to worry about like, oh, everyone else is fucking leveled this and it's taking forever. No, we have zones. We can go through the zones, enjoy the story. We can the only things we are actually leveling up are gear, you know, reputation, and any other borrowed power shit that we might have. But we don't have to gain levels. Because otherwise it's like they keep squishing us down to a certain level, but then they keep adding levels, and suddenly we just keep getting squished back to 60 or 70 or whatever. So it's best just not to level for a while. If the name is indeed Dragonflight, I hope to see a lot of dragons. I hope to see that oh so sexy Wrathion. Love me some Wrathion. Especially, I love his new look. With the hair and the just, oh my god. It's a sexy man right there. Mechatalk. Huh, I've actually never noticed how detailed the embroidery was on her hood. It was pretty cool. I never noticed that. But, yeah, I'm hoping, like, I'm ready for my balls to be just blown the fuck off like that. Blown the fuck off by how fucking amazing this is gonna be. Nyalotha, another fucking wasted. It's like, oh, we heard about Nyalotha for years and years. Ever since fucking Cataclysm, we heard of Nyalotha. And then we get to go there, and it's like, well, it's one raid, and then it's gonna disappear. But yeah, there's a lot of things. I think that most people just are tired of the cosmic enemies, but it's like they have no choice but to keep ramping it up, because if we've beaten gods of death and titans and this and that, what kind of enemy on Azeroth could possibly pose a threat to us? I mean, we have Ajara, but she's somewhere apparently out in the cosmos. But if we were able to beat titans and Zoval, she shouldn't be that much of an issue. We know that Xal'atath is partying it up somewhere in the cosmos, so I would love to see Xal'atath, you know, Naifu, the Naifu waifu. But Dragon Isles, if this is indeed Dragon Isles, I would. It has so much potential for them to just amazing aesthetics. I know the zones are going to be amazing, but hopefully, here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm John Haidt, General Manager for Warcraft, and with me today are my friends Ian Hazzakostas, who is the Game Director for World of Warcraft, and Holly Longdale, who leads up the production team for WoW Classic. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know we're really excited to be able to give you updates on what's happening in World of Warcraft. But first, I want to thank our community for all the feedback you've given us this year, and especially our community council. You've helped shape and influence the updates that we've done recently and what you're going to see in the upcoming year.
I mean, really, for Shadowlands in particular.
All right, so they're just going to kind of talk for a little bit, but they have World of Warcraft Classic people right there. Hopefully, we're going to get the announcement of World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic. We know it's coming. We know it's going to happen. She's wearing the blue. She's got the nails, the blue nails. I don't know. When you think of Wrath of the Lich King, that's what you think of. Blue. Icy blue. Hint, possibly? So I got blue. I mean, everything is just hinting at Wrath of the Lich King here. We know it's happening. But yeah, Ian is just talking about Zereth Mortis and our expectations were this and blah blah blah. But let's listen back.
Position of the Covenant legendary item, tons of tuning, and I think every step of the way, we were listening to make sure that we were carrying forward those lessons learned in the course of 915 into Eternity's End and beyond.
So WoW Classic came about because of the community.
Yeah, they continue to help guide and support us as Classic evolves.
World of Warcraft has always been about the world and the players that inhabit it. And we are, in a lot of ways, curators and caretakers of that journey and of that experience. And so once this Classic community formed and grew, we had to listen to them.
It's this tide of listening to the community and paying attention to what is a good experience for our players now. And where we really saw a sea change in this idea is with our Season of Mastery round, which is a Season of Fresh Start Classic. And initially we were talking about it like it was going to be like a fresh start. Let's try this experiment in a season. It'll be about a year long. And then when the community found out about it, we started seeing this upswell.
Yeah, the team just took that idea and ran with it and turned, what started out as a small community project into this Soul of Iron system that became a centerpiece of Season of Mastery and a whole new opt-in hardcore mode that we've seen communities built around. Yeah. Lots of, thrilling victory and painful defeat.
5 hours. I made it 5 hours.
Yeah. And it continues, like Burning Crusade Classic. We wanted to balance the Paladin seals between Horde and Alliance, so we made an addition there. We wouldn't have gotten there without the community's input.
So, influence the community, you've got another update, and pretty significant controversial change for this.
Yeah, cross-faction play coming in 925. Which is on our public test realm now as a big centerpiece.
Cross-faction. Yep. You're breaking with a 17-year tradition.
Yeah, it's something. It was not an easily made decision by any means, and I think this is another one of those areas where really we try to take to heart community feedback and requests and ask ourselves as a team whether there's a way to accommodate such an earnestly held desire and still feel like we're being true to the roots of the game. I think players desire to play with their friends who might prefer a different faction, or to play with the faction that they more closely identify with, even though their raid group is elsewhere.
It's really important for me. I play a lot of alts, and I love absorbing the story for each race, and having that ability to play with all of my friends across factions is fantastic.
At the end of the day, the battle cry is for the Horde. It's not against the Alliance. It's not death to the Alliance. It's about pride in one's faction, and I think there's a way to preserve that and even strengthen that while giving players the ability to make the same choice we've seen the greatest heroes make time and time again.
I can't wait to do this. I'm seeing a lot of my friends that I never knew had a max level character in the other faction suddenly come out of the woodwork.
And then, with these cross-faction groups, many of them are going to be diving into something new that we're doing to kind of cap off Shadowlands, a Season 4. Kind of a remix, a bit of a greatest hits, revisiting all of our raid zones across the expansion, bringing in some familiar older favorites into the Mythic Plus rotation. And we recognize this is kind of a closing chapter, a little bit of a send-off to Shadowlands. As everyone gets ready for what happens next, what will come next, want to give, a fun new challenge for everyone to sink their teeth into.
Really cool stuff for Modern WoW players. I'm super excited about the gear upgrades that you're going to give me and the chance to go back and play some of those awesome raids.
There's a lot to explore. Very exciting.
For our next adventure in World of Warcraft, we're going to go back to Azeroth. We're going to a space with high fantasy. I mean, our fans of Azeroth for a long time. This has been kind of the foundation of much of the lore of WoW. So without further ado, let's watch the cinematic.
The world has been sundered. It cries out in pain. We must go to its aid. We entrust our ancestral home to you, the Watchers. Let the land slumber, hidden even from our own eyes. You will feel our return in the waking of the land. Then you must light the beacon of Tearhold, lest the path home be lost to us forever. healing. But her fate is yet uncertain. Together, we shall be Azeroth's protectors once again. Here, the new age of dragons shall begin.
Dragons!
Dragons.
This is so cool.
No one saw it coming.
No one saw it coming. Carefully kept secret.
Okay, so wow, dragons. So we are on the Dragon Isles. It looks like we've got Alex Straza. We've got we got Wrathion there. But let's hear what they have to say. So.
Sealant that had hidden the Dragon Isles from the world, but also beckoning the dragons back urgently in a time of need.
I assume pretty good variety of locales within the Dragon Isles.
Yes, the Dragon Isles, as kind of standard for WoW expansion, consist of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone that we'll get to in a second.
Can you talk a little bit about how the team found ways to thread the dragon aspects throughout the environments?
The Dragon Isles are a place that is lush and primal, bursting with elemental energy. As Azeroth herself reawakens, those primal forces are expressed throughout the environment, whether it's magma activity, volcanic activity, whether it's the icy wastes of the Azure Span, and each one of those has a connection to a Dragonflight that we've seen before. And it's going to be an amazing place for players to arrive at and explore.
All right, you know I'm going to ask.
Yes, okay, so
Can I be a dragon?
let's start getting into some features here and what Dragonflight means for you, as well as just a place. So first off, yes, we have an all-new playable race, the Drakthir race.
Yeah.
This is a draconic race, but dragons in Warcraft have the ability to take on a humanoid form.
What classes can they be?
They have unique abilities as literally a dragon. That doesn't quite fit any of our existing classes. And so what we're doing is this is not just a new race, but it's also a new class. You know, adding a new race to World of Warcraft, and not just an allied race, is something that we don't do lightly, but telling this expansion, this story, so focused around dragons, felt like the perfect time for it. So if you were a Drakthir, you will be the Evoker class. Drakthir can only be Evokers, Evokers can only be Drakthir. And the reason why only a Drakthir could be an Evoker is that an Evoker is really combining the ability to call upon the magic of the different aspects with the unique physical gifts that a Drakthir has, the ability to actually take flight and do an Onyxia-style strafing deep breath over the battlefield, land on the other side, knock everyone back with a wing buffet, and then unleash your magical abilities.
Yes, please.
The Evoker has 2 specializations. They're a hybrid of either ranged DPS or healer, and they wear mail armor. We figured, you know, with the new hero classes we've added over the years, we have enough melee, we don't need more of those. And also probably don't need any more leather wearers.
The raid leaders are going to love you for that.
Exactly. This is definitely a hero class. And so that means that, you know, like the Death Knights before them or Demon Hunters, they will be starting level 58. And then they're going to have a new starter zone. So they're going to have a slightly different journey into the Dragon Isles as opposed to the rest of us that are sailing there from other parts of Azeroth.
Can you talk a little bit about the customizations? Like what is going to be able to identify my Drakthir character?
Basically anything and everything. You know, skin color, hair color, jewelry, tattoos, other adornments. You can make this character the expression of your identity in Azeroth.
New zone, new class,
Yep.
new race. Well, tell us about some of the system updates or features.
So, of course, the new expansion brings with it, you know, new systems, new features. I think in recent expansions, one of the things we've tended to do is really have these deep features that were closely tied to a specific expansion that would then get left behind as we moved on. Mm-hmm. And we've heard loud and clear from players that, you know, it's kind of a bummer to start off every new expansion by leaving a large part of your character behind, by leaving a large part of your progression behind. So this time around, what we're doing is really pouring all of our energy into permanent revamps, overhauls, and improvements to World of Warcraft's core systems. Things like our progression systems, in this case, our talent system is something that we want to completely revamp. We want to take a look at our UI. We want to take a look at professions.
So with the talent revamp and the arrival of Classic, did you learn anything about how our talents work?
I think seeing a new generation of players play with those talents and work through those talent trees really underscored some of the things that, frankly, we lost when we shifted to the Mists of Pandaria style talents and beyond. A big piece of that was some of just the granularity, the feeling of getting a level and spending a point to customize your character to make yourself a bit better in some specific way. But also, that sense of hybridity that you could have. That's something that we've largely lost. And so the new talent system avoids directly pitting player power throughput choices directly against those sort of utility hybrid choices, because we know that there's always a right outcome there. And we also understand that there's a lot of strength in the flexibility of the modern talent system to let players customize their talents for a particular encounter or for dungeons versus PvP, and we don't want to lose any of that.
So John, UI?
Oh my God. Yes, I got this 30-inch monitor trying to keep track of where I am on the map, all my buffs, and over here, what's going on in chat. It has literally made my eyes go like this. So,
and you're not alone in that. We've made a lot of incremental changes and additions over the years, but really this is a revamp. This is an overhaul. And so we're excited to really modernize the look and feel while staying true to the origins of World of Warcraft. At the same time, we're not looking to take away the sort of power user customization there. Add-ons are still there if you want them, but we want a much better default out-of-the-box experience for all players, new and old alike.
and can I reduce elements, remove elements? If I want to explore the world and see the beauty of Azeroth?
When it comes to specific elements, as much as possible, we want to let players choose what to show and what to hide so that they can control it themselves.
You mentioned professions. I have a critical question about this.
Go on.
Can I wear a chef's hat?
Yeah, I knew it.
Our approach to professions in Dragonflight is really all about delivering on fantasy and identity as a crafter. And so if you want to be a serious blacksmith, if you want to be a great leather worker, we want to deliver the ability to invest time and energy into that, become a master crafter, be able to make items that are in demand, interact with the community. One of the big pieces that we want to do to support that is a new work order system to have a bit more convenience than just spamming trade chat all day. But if you are someone, you're not yourself a blacksmith, but you have a bunch of mats and you want them forged into a great sword, you can put that work order up, list your mats, offer a commission, and a skilled blacksmith can come along and make you the weapon of your dreams.
I think we left out one thing, though. You can be a Drakthir, go to Dragon Isles. Can I have a dragon?
What's the fantasy of dragons, if not soaring over the lands? And so we're really excited to introduce a feature that we're calling dragon riding. It's dynamic with everything from momentum to dive bombs, the ability to just sort of build that speed up and feel the world rushing past you in a way that should be much more exciting than traditional flight that we've made available in the past, but that's also available for players through a customizable dragon mount right from the start.
So this is a skill you learn over time, right, to become an awesome dragon rider?
Yes, you'll be able to sort of upgrade aspects of your flight, but you will have this new form of flight from the start. And the dragon companion that you have is, of course, very thoroughly customizable, which is a new thing for us for mounts. This is not just a generic dragon that everyone has, but a drake that is yours. What do you want its scales to look like, horns, the shape of its head, other attachments, armor pieces, and more. Take your pick.
This is so cool.
So the Dragonflight expansion is going to see players leveling to 70, going to the all-new continent of the Dragon Isles, which consists of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone for our Drakthir class, as well as a range of systems revamps, such as a new talent system, an overhaul and update to our UI, and an entirely fresh look at professions with more depth than ever before. Also getting around the Dragon Isles is going to come in the form of dragon riding, which lets you customize and upgrade your own mount so that you can fly in a sense from the start. And of course, as with any new expansion, we have a new set of dungeons, a raid, and much more to come.
We also have an alpha that will be starting up in the future.
Check out our website for more information and keep an eye out for those opt-in signups if you want to help us test out Dragonflight and give us even more feedback to make it better.
We do have a deep dive that follows this, so please stay around. Classic players, we haven't forgotten about you. You could probably guess where we're going to go next. One of the all-time favorite expansions for World of Warcraft. Let's watch the cinematic.
king yet.
I can't watch you do this.
Argent Crusade comes for you and of your father! Of your people! For all the lives you've stolen!
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas. When my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
It's just incredible, isn't it? Every time I see the cinematic, I get chills. No pun intended, I get chills. As you saw, Wrath of the Lich King Classic is coming this year. It brings back so many memories. When you see that cinematic, what do you remember from Wrath of the Lich King?
Anytime you want to talk about undead frozen dragons, how can you not go back to Sindragosa as the source? That was the first expansion I played with my youngest son. So I can remember on that platform, black goo and chunks of ice falling off and having to repeat that battle with the Lich King. But when we finally downed him, it was such an incredible moment. He jumped up out of his room and I jumped up out of my office. We're like, yeah, did it. So it's a very lasting tale for me.
So as you know, with this expansion, you will, in pre-patch, be able to play the Death Knight. They will start at level 55. You don't have to have a high-level character.
Okay, so we can stop right there for that. I mean, we already know where Wrath of the Lich King is about. We've all played it. We love it. We know it. God, that was getting me emotional with the fucking, there's a bunch of lines from the game and, the Grizzly Hills. Gorgeous, completely gorgeous areas in that expansion. And it's 2022. So we're not going to have to wait much longer. Like I said, I knew it was going to be 2022, and I think it's probably going to be maybe around Thanksgiving, November, maybe December, I don't know. But it's this year. You're going to get Wrath of the Lich King Classic this year. And I know I said it about BC, but there's something about Wrath, and I'm going to play the fuck out of it. I mean, I love Burning Crusade, but the area does get dull after a while, in Outland. But Wrath, Northrend just never gets dull. All of it is gorgeous. And I cannot wait to go back there and level. It'd be like back in the day. So, I mean, I'm going to freaking chill out. I'm going to fucking play the same music I listened to back then. And I'm just going to play Wrath of the Lich King. I've tried to do this on multiple private servers, and it just never works out. Between the bugs and the bad scripting and no one on, it just takes away from the fun of it. So being able to go back there with a huge player base, because the Wrath is when Blizzard was at the highest. It had like 11.2 million subscribers at that time. And it was people who genuinely were playing the game. I found myself, like me and my friend, we would go out and then we would find ourselves rushing back because, we had a guild meeting to get to, or we had the raid that we were going to do, or just because we wanted to play it. So having that, I think, is going to be great. And I told you she was wearing blue for a reason. I mean, come on. You think you're being slick here, Blizzard. But so apparently now they're kind of talking about it. I'm waiting for them to go into the deep dive. I'll probably make a separate video for that, so I'm probably going to end this one here. But let me know what you guys think about that trailer. That trailer was amazing, both for Dragonflight and Wrath. Whew. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, that'll be it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.